Hi, good to have ya. I'm Vic in VR, and today we'll be doing something a little bit different. We're gonna find out what happens when you mix racing with alcohol. Does it actually make you quicker? Let's go see and find out. We'll be driving in the GT40. The livery is from Angel 744858. Check his liveries out. And as ever, I'll be behind my sim rig, if we're gonna call it that, in VR. Look at this glorious thing. I'm just gonna stick my feet through there in front of the couch. You don't need the expensive stuff. A PlayStation 5, a wheel, and a PSVR 2 are already expensive enough. So here's the plan. We're gonna take out our GT40 on the spa circuit at nighttime to really give us that feel of a late nighttime drunken drive home. And we're gonna be trying to see how quick we can do it. Do our lap times actually improve? So first we get a lap time on the board, just to give us a benchmark to fight against, and it's going to be a 2:23.861. This one was sober. First drink coming up, 1 glass of wine, which in the Netherlands, where I'm from, is actually still legal. You can have a drink, about 10 centiliters of wine, or about 500 milliliters of beer, and you should still be good to drive, at least according to the data. Everything should still be fine. So here we go on to our second lap, this time with 1 unit of alcohol through the throat. We're gonna see what that does for us. Now I do like to remind you, be responsible with alcohol. Don't drink and drive, don't go out and do silly things on the road after a few drinks, because today we'll be finding out that might not be the best idea. And you know, you're never just going to hurt yourself, you're probably going to hurt someone else too, which is always worse. I do like to remind you that everything today will be done in a simulator. I'm just inside my living room, and boy can I tell you, I am going to regret this challenge the morning after. So, if you got any problems with drinking, know that there's help out there. Go and look for it, and make sure to take care of yourself and the people around you. Having said that, let's get into it. So, I'm very much aware that the 2:23.861, the lap we drove as our benchmark lap, isn't the quickest way around this track. Probably could have shaved off even a few seconds if I pushed a little harder, but if that's truly the case, it shouldn't be that hard to improve on that in the coming laps. So, on this occasion, we're all still pretty good. We can still decently drive the car around. We're not making any weird moves. The inputs are still pretty much under control. The steering is still smooth. And not too much funny business, weird reactions. Now, as you can see, I've turned off the ghost for the timed laps. This is just to make sure that we don't really know what's happening until we get to the final corner and cross the finish line and see our lap time. So that means that I don't really know how quick I'm going either. I don't have a reference point for that. I could check the timings on the way through, but honestly it's gonna get harder and harder as we progress through this little challenge, this little experiment of ours. We're coming up to the last turn here, and again, everything's still okay. We're doing alright, taking our apexes, smooth on the power, no spinning around, and we cross the finish line. And we are in fact a little slower. After 1 wine, we are at a 2:24.471. About half a second slower then. No improvement yet. So let's cross the threshold. We're gonna have 1 glass more of the devil juice. Let's fill her up. And also, to really make sure we're across the threshold, we're also gonna have a beer with that. These ones come in 330 centiliter containers, so if you have 2 of them, you're already across the threshold. You've already drunk too much, you have to wait before you can get in the car again. So, we now have 3 drinks down the hatch, and let's see if it'll actually make us quicker this time around. On to the lap then. At this point, I'm still feeling quite okay. I like to have a drink on the weekends. I love together with my friends. I go through about, let's say, a 6-pack of beer every week. So a couple of drinks in, I'm doing okay. not really noticing that much yet. But of course, the almighty timing board is going to decide if we're actually quicker, not my own sense of speed. So I want to take this opportunity to look at some numbers. It was actually pretty hard to find real cold hard data on the actual specific numbers here in the Netherlands, but I was able to find a few things. In 2022, an estimated 24,000 people were treated in the ER, in the emergency room, for alcohol-related injuries. And this number includes both traffic accidents and violent incidents. And if we're talking about deadly accidents, so people getting into a car crash and either getting themselves killed or other people, we do have some pretty strong numbers on that one. In 2016, 13 people in the Netherlands died because of an alcohol-related crash. In 2022, this number was 61. That's 4 times as much, a very big increase in alcohol-related deadly accidents. Scary stuff. I also looked up some numbers for the United Kingdom, and I did find some things. In the UK in 2022, 300 people were killed and 6,800 were injured because of drink driving. 5% of all road accidents involve at least one driver over the drink limit, and 18% of all road deaths occur because of incidents related to alcohol. So once again, don't do it. Don't drink and drive. Don't go out and become a statistic. And so we see our first obvious mistake there. Took a little bit too much speed through the apex, kind of missed it too, and came out wide, almost going off the track there. Not great. That's not gonna help the lap time. Coming up to the finish line, and let's see how we do. And we land on a 2:25.076. So, no improvement as of yet. We'll go a little bit further. We'll have one more glass of the devil juice. And also, on top of that, we're gonna have another beer. That means we'll have 5 drinks under our belt as we head into lap number 4. So, taking a bit cautious there. At this point, I'm probably starting to feel some things. Especially when we look at the pedal inputs, we can see things are getting a little choppy. Stamp it down after coming out of the corners. We'll see it happen again here. A moment of oversteer as you just get on the throttle too quickly, step my foot down too hard. And of course, in racing, smooth is usually much quicker than stamping your feet down as hard as you can. And going through Radio, still okay, didn't miss it. But already we've probably lost quite a bit of time in the very first sector. So I'm gonna throw some more numbers at you, this time from the United States. Found some data from 2022. In that year, 13,500 people died in alcohol-related traffic accidents, accounting for 32% of all traffic crash deaths. About 37 people die every day in drunk driving crashes. And it is mentioned that $58 billion are attributable to alcohol-impaired crashes. So then I was wondering, where is this problem the very worst? Which country has the most fatal crashes, the most traffic-related accidents in the world? And I looked it up, and it seems to be South Africa. In 2019, 27% of fatal road accidents occurred because of drunk driving. And I also found some data from 2015 which suggests that 52% of all road traffic fatalities were alcohol related. Those are some insane numbers. Crazy. So with South Africa being the worst, I also had a quick look at which country did it the best. And it seems to be Sweden. They report that in 2018 only 25 people were involved in a fatal road car crash. And in 2019 that number has dropped to 15. Just 15 people who got themselves killed in an alcohol related car crash. Much better. So, lap number 4 is complete. Not that much better than the previous lap. I think our premise is starting to fall apart. This time we go around the track with a 2:23.995. That's actually pretty close to our benchmark, but we're still not any quicker. So, once more, we're gonna grab the devil juice, and for good measure, we'll have another drink of the devil juice. That's 1 bottle down the drain. 7 drinks in total. Here my feline friend gives me some love just to make sure if I'm still okay. Thank you, Max. You're always there for me. Love you, friend. Right, here we go then. On to lap number 5, reminding you once more that there's 7 drinks down the hatch at this point, and we can definitely start to tell. Look at how I go through that corner. I haven't even started the lap yet, and it's already a bit of a mess. Too much curb on the inside and going off of the track on the outside. So into the first corner, and okay on entry, but once again I get the foot down way too quickly. And look, I have to correct twice as I go completely off the track. Once again, it doesn't look like it's that much quicker. We have Eau Rouge and Radion coming up. Let's see how we go through there. Pretty okay. We survive. So one thing of note is that at this point in time, I am starting to feel the effects of the alcohol somewhat. I'm getting a little tipsy, and I'm starting to feel some strange things in my stomach as I'm pouring a lot of alcohol into it in quite a quick short span of time. However, overconfidence is growing because my mind still believes that, I'm not that much slower. I can still do this. Look at me drive a car at 200 kilometers an hour. It's fine. No problem. We'll manage. But we can definitely start to see, looking back at the footage, that things are getting a little out of shape. Wonky through almost every single corner. You see some more correcting being done after getting the car into an oversteer again, simply because I'm throwing the foot down way too hard. It's just funny how your mind can trick you like that. That difference between feeling okay and being okay to drive a car. You can notice it in the way I step my feet down both on the brakes and on the throttle, but also steering input is getting just less gradual, less smooth. I'm throwing it into understeer in the middle of the corner pretty much every single time now. And also just these big movements and really late reactions when it comes to having to catch something, like oversteer for example. We have 3 more corners left. Got a really quick left-hander here. And once again, kind of missed the apex, but this time I do manage to keep it on the track. That's very good. And into the final chicane. And we hit one of the marks and the second of the marks. And I remind myself not to throw the feet down as hard as I did before. And this time, it is getting a lot slower. 2.26.289 after 7 drinks. And now I am starting to feel the effects quite well. Things are getting a little tough, but we're not done yet. I found another bottle of wine with about a glass left in it. We're just gonna take that. And also, let's finish up the beer. And that'll be the 3rd beer we got in total. Now then, 9 drinks down the hatch. Let's see how we do on lap number 6. Are we getting any better at this point? Is there a certain point in time that drinking too much alcohol is going to help you? And it doesn't seem to be. At 9 drinks in, a bit more oversteer coming out of that final corner. Into the first one then. And a bit wide. But no funny business on the outside of the corner this time around. And this is the point where I'm starting to think, man, what am I doing to myself? Why do I put myself through this? What am I gaining out of this? Why can't I ever have normalities like normal people? And also the realization hit me that tomorrow was gonna suck. I was not gonna have a fun day with the family outing. Well, alright. Into the chicane. Taking it a bit cautious. And again, you can see that there's just not much fluidity to the movements anymore. You can also see a little bit more head bobbing. Things are getting out of shape after 9 drinks in. But still, I like to remind you that I still think that, it's not that much different. I can still crack that time. Absolutely no problem. I just have to go for it. So on a positive note, I haven't spun the car around yet at this point. I haven't crashed into a wall yet. Haven't caused any casualties today, which is very nice. For lap 6, I was thinking, well, I am getting into a few shenanigans here and there. I am putting my feet down a bit too hard. I am oversteering where I shouldn't do that. So I was trying to go through the lap a bit more cautiously. We can tell that I'm doing that. We're not getting too much oversteer. We're not missing the apexes. We're not going off track where we shouldn't. And as I say that, we do miss an apex right there, pass right by it. But we're okay, and I'm just wondering, am I actually going any quicker? Just a quick look at the inside of the car there. I guess I'm getting a little distracted. Through the left-hander, not going off track. And into the final chicane, coming up to the braking zone. Not too late on the brakes. Going for the apex, going for the other apex. Trying to keep the car under control. And this was actually a bit smoother, but has our lap time improved? And it's a 2:25.1. So better than last time, but we're still more than a second off our original time. And at this point, it's getting pretty late in the evening. I found the third bottle of wine. Let's crack that open, and we're not gonna have just one, but two more drinks to settle this once and for all. And that'll be enough for the rest of the evening, because I am getting pretty oiled up at this point in time. So happy that I haven't spilled anything on a beautiful carpet or over the wheel or the headset. So one more lap then. 11 drinks in at this point in time. How is lap 7 going to go? And we're a little late with steering back onto the road there, but we survived the chicane. We're heading into the first corner. Braking, entering, and okay on the exit, at least we keep it in. That's very good. Might 11 drinks be the point in time that he'll actually become quicker? A little wonky, a little woozy, but we're here. Kind of missed the apex, and we definitely missed the apex on the second bend. But we keep it on track. Coming onto this massive straight and race is a fantastic overtaking opportunity. I love this bit. This track is so amazing to me. If you ever have the opportunity to visit, go there. Into the chicanes then, and we cut a bit much, and we don't leave ourselves a good line for the exit. And now onto the right-hander, we just completely understeer of the track. And as I get back onto it, look at that. Look at how many times I swing the wheel just to get it straight again. Into the slow corner, and once more, a bunch of understeer. And too much throttle application, so we can't really manage to salve it. Through here, a complete missing of the apex. Still on track though, still in one piece. Might it still be a quick lap? Through this quick left-hander. And close to the apex, but completely off track there. Not great. But still no crashing, still no casualties. Might it still happen? Through here. And it's an okay entry. Let's see how the exit goes, and once again, too quick on the power. We get understeer and we're completely off the track. Completely. Okay, so maybe not. Maybe 11 drinks isn't gonna make you any faster. You can almost go off the track here. You do it at the apex here. You run a bit wide. Still okay. 3 more corners to go before we can settle this. The left-hander coming up. Will we be able to keep it on track? Go through it. Quite close-ish to the apex. And heading towards the final chicane on the brakes. And it's very slow. Maybe that'll help us, but no, we go too deep. We have to wait so long before we get back on the power. And we can see the timer right there. It's a 2:31.525. That's 8 seconds slower after 11 drinks. So I think it's pretty clear by now that drinking doesn't actually make you quicker. Who would have thought that? Who would have actually thought that? What a wonderful experiment. We've learned so much today. So after this, I was both oiled up, I was too drunk to do anything else, and I was getting pretty bored with it. So before I sign off today, I want to show you a quick compilation of me in single player trying to do a quick Porsche race on the Nürburgring, which I still had to complete for my single player progress. And unlike Spa, I don't know the Nürburgring very well, so let me show you how that went, just to paint a really clear picture. So yeah, I think that settles it. Drinking doesn't make you quicker at racing. It very clearly affects your fine motor skills, your capability to reason, and your ability to drive a car properly. If you want to try this out for yourself, pretty please do it in the simulator. Go ahead and go on Gran Turismo or iRacing or whatever you like, whatever suits your fancy. But please do not go out and drive on the real roads after a few drinks, because it's not gonna help you, and you're gonna seriously underestimate how much you suck at handling a car. I'll leave it at that. Expect more videos coming later this week. I can't manage to keep it on a daily schedule, so expect a new video every 2 or 3 days from now on. I thank you, dear viewer, for being here, for checking out my video all the way to the end. We'll see you next time. Have a good one. Take care. Goodbye.